Understanding yourself and your culture is the beginning of intercultural communication and self-awareness. I have divided my self-culture report into the following 6 sections for elaboration. Before starting, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Xin Zixuan. I am a Chinese hybrid from China. Why do I say that? Because my parents come from different parts of China. I have been influenced by many cultures since I was a child. My biggest influences was Zhejiang and Shanghai. These two cultures have influenced me in various ways. For example, the differences between Shanghai and other Chinese cities has resulted in my values and vision being probably higher than my peers in most part of China. And the Wenzhou style of thinking, where I think about the business principle behind almost everything I see. Another thing that benefits me is that I speak several languages, including Shanghainese, Mandarin, Wenzhou, and English. Therefore, I think it is interesting to have a multicultural mix because you get to experience different rituals and cultures. So let's move on the main part of this video. Culture is a group of people sharing and acquiring behavior patterns and attitudes, and ritual are the products of culture. Under the influence of traditional Chinese culture, my family placed great importance on rituals and ceremony, which have been passed on from generation to generation, such as the Mid-Autumn Festival, when the whole family has to gather at a round table to eat together. An ordinary round table actually contains many traditions. I remember when I was in primary school, my parents invited friends over for dinner, and I was a total lesson for running straight to the main seat before everyone arrived. Culture is dynamic, and the value of women can reflect the variable dimensions of a culture. In traditional Chinese culture, women take a backseat, but as time have changed, so has the status of women. In Shanghai, the status of women is generally higher, and therefore women have more opportunities in the workplace. Also, women are physically weaker than men. They possess qualities such as sensitivity, emotional experience, and communication, and hope to utilize these strengths in the workplace. As a woman, I reject scalar concepts and insist on gender equality and sex discrimination. Class has had a big impact on me, and we have to recognize that in every society, there is a social hierarchy where some groups are prioritized over others. Originally, my family was in the upper middle class of society. Then the bankruptcy of the family business led to the downfall of our family. This experience hurt me personally and caused me to lose some of my privileges. While this huge change hurt me, it invariably taught me a lot more. That's why I am currently a big believer in the saying, "It is all for the best. Move on when things get tough." Culture is learned. It is an acquired behavior. I remember the first time parents took us out for a steak when I was a child, and as soon as the steak was served, I started to cut it up myself. And they were so surprised that they asked me how I knew how to do it, and I burned out. That's the way they cut it up on TV. I think some of the popular TV dramas have also had an impact on me. For example, I am more demanding when it comes to choosing a spouse and a boyfriend. But modern Chinese popular films has both the unbearable and brutal nature of relationships between men and women. which has made me very cautious about relationship between men and women. Culture changes with individual. I think my personal culture has influenced by two things, by intertemporary culture and my own experience growing up. And my personal culture influenced my family. For example, my mom wants me to have 3 children in the future like her, but I have my own ideas and experience that I may not want children in the future. And they understand through me after they understand why I and the youth of today have the reasons we do. Another example is that religious beliefs and practices usually play a big role in everyday life. My grandmother was a vegetarian in Buddhism, and my mom was influenced by her to become a vegetarian. I used my knowledge to tell my mother that this is no reason from a scientific point of view, and she is currently eating non-vegetarian food after listening my advice. So culture is changed. Cultural values may affect communication patterns. Using conversational constraints theory to expand, I focus more on validity when I talk about topics with others. I often find myself discussing more realistic topics with my family and friends in informal situations. For example, in secondary school, my friends will talk about what's hot in the entertainment industry at the moment, recent popular games, and short videos where I would rather discuss with them the rationale behind the things. Why people like them so much, so they are willing to put in the time and effort to make money for the producers. The Chinese way of doing things is traditionally based on stability. The traditional Chinese way of doing things focuses on stability and long-term thinking, which leads me to be more strict in what I say in formal situations. Plus, I think formal situations are a favorable channel to improve my social circle, and I want to show my good side in front of the public to the extent that it will give me more opportunities in the future. That's all for my report. Thanks for listening. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you are interested.